Paul, you were held to 15 points tonight. What were they doing that caused you so much problems where you couldn't get into a rhythm all night?
Yeah, just rough night. That's all it is, just rough night. Nothing that I haven't dealt with this whole series in terms of double team and traps. Just a slow night for me to get a rhythm.
Paul, several times this year you've mentioned frustration, team being lifeless at times, just the overall lack of energy or team having fun. Just how frustrating and difficult was this season?
It's very frustrating. But it's I guess every year isn't a golden year. It's going to be some ups and downs in a career, and I've learned that not every year. It's going to be special. You got to kind of write and guide your destiny when it comes to that. So it was good to learn. Good to learn. This year I was just able to take everything in and just try to grow, try to learn from it, find out ways to remain positive, and just try to make the most of it.
Well, with free agency pending for you, do you want to stay in Indiana, and how do you proceed at this point? Does the All-NBA situation will that have an impact on what you do?
I ain't even at that point yet, Bob. Next question.
Paul, how frustrating is it year after year to kind of run into LeBron and have his teams end your playoff hopes?
It's real frustrating. It's real frustrating to continue on losing, to the same team or same person. It's real frustrating. It's what I work hard for in the summers, to try to help lead a team of my own. And ultimately, this is who I'm going to always have to see and face. But again, came up short. Didn't do enough.
The record was a little bit worse than last year. The playoff result was a little bit worse than last year. How do you evaluate the progress of this season?
Well, I thought, for the whole year, we had a new core, new team. I was with new teammates, and all year, we've been saying it, trying to find chemistry and trying to find, what works, what's not working, trying to learn, trying to build chemistry, trying to just take it one step at a time. And, it just sucked for us. Everything was happening fast, and we were never able to quite catch on until, really late in the season. But it's difficult. It's difficult dealing with, new styles, new teammates, new coach. You got to learn how to figure that out fast. And for us, we had trouble with it.
Is this one of those situations, Paul, where you probably don't think about it now, but in reflection, you go back to all of those, 8 losses to teams at the bottom of the league, those frustrating games that you should never have lost during the regular season, where you're not playing LeBron in the first round, that's really the step the team has to take?
Yeah. But, we can't look at it like that. Eventually, we was going to have to face them. Even if our seeding was a little higher and we had a different matchup, we was going to have to face this team regardless. But, if we want to win, that's the team that we have to work towards, stacking up against. At some point, if we want to be serious, that's the team we got to look at and figure out how can we match up against them.
Paul, you said earlier this year in regards to your future that you need to see the organization do more, convince you that they're headed in the right direction. What would you like to see, or what do you need to see or be told this offseason moving forward?
Again, I'll wait for that time. Got exit meetings tomorrow, and I'll wait for that time.
Paul, I know that you don't really want to think about your future, but with all the speculation surrounding it and then a lot of the rumors going around, how difficult, especially after the trade deadline, how difficult was it to stay focused on this moment and not get caught up in what's being said about you?
Well, that was the easy part. Again, I don't really feed into media or let it affect me. I've been really good at focusing on what I need to focus on. That stuff I don't have control over. Everybody has a voice, everybody has an opinion, and I can't change that. The only thing I can, really focus on or have control of is what I do and what I can have an impact on. Everything else I have no control over, so it didn't really weigh on me.
Paul, down the stretch, you played at a real high level. Most of the season, all the season, you played at a high level. But is there something in particular that you think that you could have done better during the course of this season to rally these guys to be able to have a better ball club than what you had?
Of course. At the end of the day, it relies and it falls on me. And, I could always do things better. But again, it's first time really being in this position. Years past, even last year, George and Jan and, those guys took a lot of load off of me as far as, rallying the team and keeping guys together and being the voice in the locker room. And those guys win. They're winning players. They've been in winning programs. For me, I got veterans and stuff like that. But, those guys were the guys that have been in that position. So this year it was kind of hard trying to figure that out, how to keep everybody together, stay positive. But, of course, I could have done a lot of things better this year.
Paul, in real terms, obviously when you get swept, it doesn't feel like you're close, to moving on. But if you look at the opportunities that you had within that sweep, is your sense that you have a feeling the team is closer to something than maybe the world thinks, or is there still that gap that needs to be closed?
Well, it's tough. It's tough. I hate to look back on the past. But, you take a year like last year with that group, we got eliminated first round, but we felt you add a couple more pieces to that group and we had something again. But, every year is different. Every year is different. And, you got to go, as it comes. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what moves the team makes and how it stacks up going forward.
Paul, you touched on your leadership skills a little bit. Have they improved as this season has gone on, and where do you think you need to be to take the next step?
I think just remaining, I think talkative. I think that's the biggest step I can improve on, and the biggest step I can take is just remaining talking. I'm aware that helps a lot of guys as much as you can talk and communicate, and not everybody is programmed the same or is built the same. So I think that will help going forward, and I think that's something I could take away from this season.
Paul, it was a frenzied final possession with those 2 turnovers, and then you got a shot. What did you see, and how pleased were you with at least the opportunity that you got?
Yeah, I was pleased with the opportunity. I was pleased with that opportunity. I saw a wide open shot. I got the ball back after those turnovers of both sides. I got the ball back, and everybody scrambled away. And I had a good look, had an open look. May have rushed it. I should have took my time in that moment. Definitely one I wish I could have back.